What is going on YouTube? It is your boy J-Man, and look, y'all, today we are back today, and I got some bad news for y'all, okay? And look, before we do anything, appreciate everybody for the love and support. We are on the road to 5K subs. Y'all make sure to like and subscribe for your boy J-Mid. So y'all make sure, like I said, hit the like and subscribe button. We're on the road to 5,000 subscribers, okay? Before I even get to this video, I'm going to give a shout out to the NBA 2K Central. Ja, always, for the Twitter space. I popped in there. I wanted to get a couple things that I wanted to say about the game and how I feel going forward. You had a lot of creators like Double H, Joey 2K. You had Cash Out. You had a lot of people. It's not showing their full names. You had Joe Nose pop in there. Yo, that's EJ popped in. You had a lot of creators popped in. And before I even get to this video, a lot of y'all that's still, well, I don't want to upload any video, Jay, because I don't get no views. One thing you have to do is scrap that, bro. If you want to utilize your voice, get yourself out there, bro. I joined this Twitter space and I just wanted to say things how I felt about what they were doing with the game, right? And a lot of y'all be saying like, bro, how do people be getting to know your name? This is how, because I don't care how many subs I have. Yeah, I have goals, but I don't let my sub count. Well, hey, they had Joe Nose in there, so I don't want to talk. They had that's EJ in there, so I don't want to talk. They had Double H in there, so I don't want to talk. They had Joey 2K in there, so I don't know if I don't want to talk. You can't have that as your approach, especially if you want to utilize your voice. Just talk. You know what I'm saying? We're all human at the end of the day. Yes, these guys are content creators. Some of these guys are streamers, but you're still human at the end of the day. Now, let's get to the bad news, okay? By the way, shout out to all of them. You had Shoot in there as well, right? Which I didn't even know he was a coach. I think at the time when I joined, he wasn't even a coach. I think he was just a speaker. But let's get to it, right? And y'all see Cash Out. But look, this has to be arguably one of the worst news that we could get gameplay information-wise from NBA 2K26. Now, I need y'all to hit that like button right now because I told y'all 2K was going to do this, right? Powered by Pro Play has returned. Dominate every possession with technology that directs translates NBA footage. Do I even need to read the rest? Into realistic gameplay. Feel more connected to every dribble and crossover with revamped size ups. What did I tell you guys they were going to do? 2K was going. That's why I need you to like subscribe button because I called this. I told y'all, bro, listen, 2K going to try to say they revamped Pro Play. Did I not say that? And I'm not even crashing, y'all. It's just the fact that I said this and I was right. Look, revamped size ups and experience fast-paced dynamic movement with all new Pro Play features. Did I not tell that we're going to say this, bro? Go look at the videos. There's all proof right there, right in front of y'all face, bro. Right? But here's what y'all got to understand why this is bad news, right? And I'm not just trying to be negative. I'm just telling you how I see it, right? Well, some of y'all are going to look at this and be like, well, nah, Jay, you're wrong this time because this year is fast paced. Oh, you really let 2K get you with fast pace. Remember what I told you yesterday when we were going through the information? A lot of the things that we talked about were things that they told us in NBA 2K25, correct? Well, yesterday, 2K is going to sprinkle fast paced on the end of it. Like, yes, it's new, knowing it's really, in my opinion, the same thing. Right? Like last year, they tried to show you this, precise stops and explosive launches, authentic signature movement, dynamically generated motions. Remember this right here? And it got some of y'all like, whoa, we got to pay attention to that. How was that when the gameplay was? Again, I'm not just trying to be negative. I'm talking about facts. I want to have a conversation, speak of facts. And when I was in that Twitter space yesterday, I brought up everything that I really care about. I didn't really get to every point because I didn't want to talk over people. I didn't want to be that person to just yell and, speak over everybody. I want to give everybody a chance to speak, right? I talked about the online experience. I talked about the devs, not really understanding the community or playing the game. All of that stuff, bro. I talked about why I think Pro Play is not going to work, right? All of that stuff. I'm going to go back and watch it. Now, I wasn't talking the entire time. You might have to find the moments where I was talking, right? And then Double H makes a tweet. Like I shot to him. Anytime I use somebody's, tweet or something like that in this career, I'm getting their credit, right? Shout out to Double H for making this tweet. Shout out to Double H. 2K described their gameplay and dribbling for NBA 2K26. Feels more connected to every dribble crossover with revamped size ups and experience fast-paced dynamic movement with all new Pro Play features. Revamped size ups, fast-paced dynamic movement. So you see Double H putting up the question mark really like, you know, we've heard this before, right? Well, all of this stuff with the, revamped and the movement. So he says, hopefully this is actually true because all he says, because we all know how the precise stops and explosive launches went last year in their 2K25 trailer, which I just showed y'all. And I know I paused because I'm reading so fast, L reader in the, chat, right? Which he's talking about this right here, right? So I want to get to this. So all of y'all right now that are like, nah, bro, you just yapping. They said it's fast paced this year, meaning I'm finna make a 6'8" that can move like Curry. Let me explain this to you, okay? What company are we talking about right here? We're talking about 2K, right? Yeah. What game are we talking about? We're talking about 2K, right? And let me ask you guys a question because you really have people out there that think that, like, yo, we getting fast paced this year, so you know it's pro play, but it's fast paced. But Jamin, the gameplay not out yet. You're right. What makes you think you're going to make a 6'8" that can move like Curry? Not only that, what makes you think 2K will allow the community to have a meta to where guess what? People are just gonna make one build and that's it. We all know 2K is not gonna like that. So, and this is what I'm saying. I don't know if it's because I make content, I see it a different way than somehow y'all see it, but I'm looking at it from a standpoint of why would they allow y'all to make a 6'8" that can move like Curry, knowing everybody's gonna make the same thing, right? To where guess what? They're gonna make one build and that's it. That's not gonna happen. They're not gonna like that. So you gotta ask yourself, wait, they said, pro play was going to be like explosive last year, and you see how in the background the gameplay looks. You know what I'm saying? So I'm trying to figure out what honest changes that they really made in this game. Well, Jay made they didn't drop gameplay yet. You're absolutely correct. And like I said, this is why I feel like this is bad news. Because when they drop that gameplay, whether it's a gameplay trailer or let's say they're gonna try what 2K is gonna try to do is they're gonna try to use a in the little so-called they're going to try to find a NBA player that can move really quick and try to use that as the trailer, knowing it when the game is completely out, you're only going to be able to get certain moves for certain heights, in my opinion. So all you that's thinking like, nah, bro, it's fast paced. You got to ask yourself this. And I also brought up balance when I was in that Twitter space yesterday too, right? I'm going to get to that when I'm done saying this. They're not gonna allow you guys to get every animation, in my opinion. Because when I was in that space yesterday, Luba, aka Mike Wang, who I'm surprised he was not in there, right? They was like, yeah, Mike Wang still likes some of the realistic stuff. So all y'all that's like, oh, I'm gonna make a 7-footer that can move like, Steph or something like that, or De'Aaron Fox. I don't think that's happening, y'all. Again, this ain't me just being negative. This is me being honest with y'all, bro. So all of y'all that's getting excited, right? This is why I said, bro, if pro play is back, it's gonna be bad in my opinion. I even had that in one of my. If these three things are back in the game, it's gonna be ugly in my opinion because y'all want to have fun, y'all want to have control, y'all want to be able to stay on the game and just have a great time. And I don't think pro play is what 2K needs, is what the community wants. Now, you do have some people out there that are like, yes, pro play is still in the game. Don't let these guys be able to cheese. It's not about even be able to cheese. It's to me, bro, it's a video game. You see what I'm saying? You are to the point to where at this point you want to just get on the game and have fun. You don't want to feel like 2K is control over everything you do on your player, right? I talk about the catch animations yesterday in the space. I talk about all of these things. You can't catch a basketball. The attributes don't matter, which that is what I kept saying to y'all too as well, bro. Gameplay is the most important thing. Your attributes, you can have a 99 overall. It don't really show like you got a 99 overall, right? All of that stuff. So when you ask yourself this, right? Pro play with fast pace, what does that really mean? Okay. What it tells me is, yeah, that's what we're going to say like in the little trailer thing. But when the game plays out, it's going to be something totally different. We're not going to let them just do whatever they think they're going to do. Because some of y'all right off the bone just said, yeah, bro, it's fast paced pro play. I'm back. Hold on, bro. Did you not experience 2K25? Did you not experience any of that stuff? Right? That's what I'm just saying. So going forward, to me, this is one of the worst news information that could happen if you truly care about 2K, the community, gameplay wise, in my opinion, you did not want to see pro play return. Okay. And like I said, I get what y'all want to do. I even said that in the space. People just want to have fun and play the game. They don't want to do all of this slow. You're getting feel like you're on a fast break. I talk about all of this stuff, y'all. When you're on a fast break, that the game slows you down. Like you can't run to the speed your player's supposed to be running. It's all types of crazy stuff. It's just things to where why is it still an issue with gameplay? And we're in 2025. Not to mention, they're still making current gen games, right? So when you ask yourself, man, what is really this pro play? When they're bringing back pro play, what makes you think the gameplay is going to be different? I'm asking a question here. If you're going to sit there and tell me what they said is fast paced, what did they tell you last year, right? That it was going to be explosive and all types of stuff. I was reading so fast, I probably said it on a word or two, right? So when you tell me, well, it's different, what is different about it? Honestly, yes, we haven't really seen the gameplay trailer, but off the information alone, and this is 2K we're talking about, what do you think 2K community is going to be different with the gameplay? Because if you ask me, I don't see no different. And that's why I told y'all yesterday, off the information they gave us alone, I didn't see no different. This go back to the 2K. Matter of fact, I might pull up the 2K25 information when they were telling us what was going to be in the game. And if you compare it to what they telling you was going to be in 2K26, a lot of the stuff is very similar, bro. It's like, to me, it's like a little copied and paste, and let's sprinkle some fast-paced pro play to try to get people to think, the pro play is different. That's how I look at it because I've played the game, okay? Played the game, whether it's Park, Proving Grounds, Rec, played Prem a couple of times, right? Played every starting five. I've played almost every mode, including my team, which I guess I don't really like playing my team anymore, right? And to me, the gameplay is not going to be different, in my opinion. Okay. Now, people were saying the adrenaline bars have to go. I'm afraid to tell you, I think the adrenaline bars are coming back. If pro play's already confirmed to come back, what makes you think they would take out adrenaline bars? Honestly, if they're keeping pro play, which I told y'all they were going to say they revamped their pro play, right? What makes you think they're going to get rid of the adrenaline bars? So that's why I'm saying I feel like this stuff is bad news, y'all. Now I'm gonna go on Twitter right now. I'm gonna see if I can pull up some replies and see how the community feels about this. Okay, and I'm gonna tell y'all what they say. So let me get to Twitter real quick. Get to a couple of replies. Let me see what I can see here. So I'm gonna use some replies from 2K Intel. Shout out to him. I'm pretty sure some of y'all know who he is, right? Always, saying information that we need to know going on with the game. So I see a comment right here, a whole lot of nothing. They said this ish last year. You know what I'm saying? I'm just telling y'all, I feel like it's going to be really the same thing, y'all. I'm not trying to be some hater. I promise you. If you're new to this channel, I'm not you're a person that just hates the game. I provide information on why the things that I'm saying, right? Just like how I told you, just because they say it's fast paced, they said something similar to last year about the game being explosive. And was it explosive on NBA 2K25? Was the dribbling explosive? Or did it feel like your player was on a chain and he couldn't do but so much? Right? That's how I looked at it when it come to gameplay. Now, am I the greatest dribbler or a thing like that? No. But gameplay wise, everything feels like in slow motion. It's just, to me, that's just not it. Um, so somebody says, nah, it's better. Hopefully, I love pro play. This got to be like an AI comment, bro. Somebody said, LMAO, what the F am I reading? He says, what, it makes gameplay more realistic. I'm gonna just let y'all have that one, bro. I don't know what some of y'all be talking about. So let me see. There's two replies from this. The stupidest physics and gameplay I have seen. I ain't gonna read that last comment. Somebody says you really believe this ish. It's honestly disappointing. Just because it's realistic doesn't mean it's fun. Great points. I like that right there. I like how that dude just not only killed that comment with kindness, but provided facts. Because that's the truth. Just because it's realistic, y'all. And see, I'm going to bring this up too, by the way, too. Because me personally, I know they got rid of the 2K League. This is not a knock to anybody that was in the 2K League. But I feel like they got rid of it because nobody didn't really care about it like that. It wasn't getting the attention that they really thought it was going to be getting, right? And this guy right here just said just because it's realistic doesn't mean it's fun, right? So, for example, the 2K League gameplay could have seemed like it was, a tougher game, which if you ask me, playing 2K25, I mean, you talk about not being able to hit a shot and things like that. You think you playing the 2K League, right? To where the viewers are be like, yo, this game is just not, it don't look like they're having fun. They're just competitive, but it don't seem like it's fun, right? So just because pro play might seem a little realistic to people, don't mean it's fun. And that's why y'all don't want to stay on the game because the gameplay, which is the most important thing of the game, is not fun. It's only fun when you're playing with your homeboys, people that you know, or people that you really got connections with, right? People that you grew up with. And it's bad because nowadays, after you play 2 games, they getting off the game because they don't like the gameplay, right? So I'm gonna say another comment real quick. Um, Realism in the game is the reason why the game is really dog water. Movement is terrible and it feels like I'm running in sand. Exactly. You see how he's providing with facts? It feels like you have no control. Your player can't but do so much when it comes to pro play. I'm talking so fast once again, y'all be over talking about words, things like that, right? But I'm gonna get to another reply. So somebody said, dog, it's a video game. Nobody wants to be realistic at this point. We just want to have fun. Factual. At this point to where 2K is, it's not about is it realistic. People just want to have fun, bro. That's all they really care about. Because you got to think, all of this, I'm better than you. Guess what? It hold no weight. You know how many players in the stage, right, got a high win percent and nobody cares. Nobody cares because the game is not fun. The game is trash. You see what I'm saying? Nobody cares about your win percentage. Nobody cares how long you've been on a streak. Nobody cares. But if the game was fun, I could guarantee you, hey, look at such and such, bro. He been on that streak for a little minute. You know what I mean? Let's go pull up on him. At this point, nobody don't care no more. You know what I'm saying? So look, they literally said this last year. At this point, this got to be a joke. Uh, it's the same BS, just a different year. Summer news hyped the game up as they really did not change anything with gameplay. It's going to be the same thing for a few months and be back to being free again. I definitely agree. I definitely agree. And this is why I want y'all to literally just wait until you see the gameplay, right? All of y'all that, well, it's true, like I done pre-ordered the game, it's GG's for you, bro. Because once you see what 2K really is with the gameplay and stuff like that, y'all gonna feel like, bro, this probably look like similar to the game I just played. That might be the vibe you get. And what you're gonna try to do is if you get that vibe, who else pre-ordered 2K? Because you don't want to feel alone. You're gonna try to find somebody else that pre-ordered the game and get that like, hey, did you pre-order the game? Because you don't want to. It's just like somebody failing a test in school. You don't want to feel shame. Like, man, I shouldn't have, failed this test. So you peek to the side. Hey, did you pass? No, I failed. Oh, bet. Okay, cool. I failed too. You want to feel you want to get that mindset of I'm not alone. So that's why I'm telling y'all. I told y'all, bro. Not only would if I was, I would wait if there was a demo, which that hasn't even been announced yet. Which I'm pretty sure they said we're going to get more information. I think after the summer league, if I'm correct, summer league starts today. I will be watching that. By the way, but I feel like if I was y'all, I wouldn't wait. I would definitely wait until they drop gameplay, things like that, so you can truly see if you really want to play. Don't let the so-called whatever they do when it comes to y'all know when they try to like gameplay about the park and things like that. Don't you care about the gameplay? You don't care about the new whatever they do. Let's say they put a new theater, which I don't like the theater, right? Oh, they got a new theater, Jay, bro. What about the gameplay? You see what I'm saying? And right now, this is the worst news you could arguably ask for, in my opinion. Um, on bro, they said this same stuff last year, and look at how the game was. That's all I'm saying, right? 2K been saying this stuff for 3 years, by the way, and look at how the game has been. So a lot of people, not only in the comments, but a lot of people in the 2K community are not happy about this pro play stuff returning. And a lot of these people, I can assure you, if the game was fun, they would be if they would be on the game. They would not. They wouldn't care about their record. And I want to say this, by the way, too. Yes, a lot of us don't want to have a terrible record, but if you're having so much fun in the game, you're not going to be like, nah, bro, my win percent. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to mess that up, right? If you're having fun, who cares? You see what I'm saying? But you're not anymore. So now people like, oh, for example, you in the wreck. Oh, he not purple. I ain't trying to run with him. When not saying he probably trash anyway. Anybody, I'm tired of people doing that too. Y'all think because y'all on a certain plaque that y'all so nice things like that. When not touching, you get carried, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's just the facts. Some of y'all be getting carried. We done proved that numerous times. All types of facts on that, right? Which I even said in the Twitter space yesterday, what 2K needs to start doing is for if it's gonna be random wreck, kick everybody out after every game because it needs to be balanced. You can't let people just stay in the game, win 3-4 in a row, and play a group of randoms and they're gonna blow them out by 50 and they in a 2-3 zone. Now, is a 2-3 zone tough to is it difficult? No, it's not. But if you're playing with randoms, you ain't got no chemistry, of course it's gonna be difficult. And that's what people do. They win 3-4 in a row, they stay in the lobby, they become a mini little team, they in a 2-3 zone, you in random wreck. You're like, bro, why these guys in zone? They because 2K allows them to stay in the lobby, become a team, and there's no balance in that, right? And I said that, right? And people actually understood what I was saying, and in the Twitter space yesterday. And yeah, the devs need to understand stuff like that, bro. Right? So yeah, and then the little banning system that got to go to. I talk about that as well, y'all. Right? Let me see if I can find some more comments. And last year's pro play was horrible. Let me see something. Isn't this the third year 2K saying pro plays in the game and the gameplay is awful? Yes. Um, Somebody says here we go with this BS again. So we're gonna be dealing with the same stuff, copy and paste. I mean, it's just I'm telling y'all, bro, like the information, it just don't seem like, yeah, man, it's that 2K about to be here. And it's like, well, the information that they're telling you is something that you really already experienced. Based on the information, based on the proof from 2K, right? Somebody says, I'm so done with this game. They honestly don't care anymore. I'm trying to tell you. I'm going to tell you what have made people want to play 2K26. I'm going to tell y'all something, bro. And this is my opinion. Y'all don't have to agree with me. Y'all can disagree with me. But if 2K would have said, you know what? We don't like how this game has been in the 5K category and on platforms, which I talk about that on the podcast as well. On the Twitter space, I brought that up as well. I feel like what they should have done was get rid of pro play, get rid of these the little three things under your player, right? Go back to just simple basketball, right? To where you have control, you control your experience of your player. It's just simple. It's none of this pro play, revamp animations, none of that. Just make it simple, right? The city is already back in the game. I was not gonna bring back current gen, right? I was gonna actually just make a simple basketball game with a realistic environment. But the gameplay was gonna be more, you decide the outcome of the game, right? It wasn't gonna be none of this physics, NBA animations BS, because it just seems like they're just using AI instead of 2K actually going in the lab and cooking up some like cool stuff when it comes to gameplay. It seems like they're using pro play like for AI wise, right? It's just them to just copy it and use that instead of them actually having to be creative and make something be like cool. You see what I'm saying? So, like I said before, if it was me, I'd have made something simple. And like I said, I don't even think Spike Lee can say this. Because guess what? Let's say Spike Lee does a great My Career storyline, but the gameplay is, not exciting, right? Gameplay is the most important thing. So just because the storyline is good, don't mean people are gonna want to play the game. You should have made things more simple, in my opinion, right? Scrap pro play because ever since you announced it, the game has regressed, in my opinion, right? All of that NBA physics. Just get in your bag and cook up some stuff. If you have a hard time doing that, find some people, right? Matter of fact, you could talk to NBA players and they'll tell you, hey, like, what do you think we should do? I can assure you they would be like, nah, like, you got to do some cool stuff, not just copy and paste from pro play and AI ability, in my opinion, bro, right? Because I feel like that's what they've been doing. And that's why it feels like every time we on our My players, it's like our players are like on a chain. We can't really run to where we want to go to, or like it's stiff because it's pro play, right? All of this not being able to catch a basketball, all of this, you have no control. It's just like a clumsy experience of basketball. And mind you, your My player is supposed to be a professional NBA player. And you can't catch a basketball. They got you doing a 360 catching a basketball. Like, what are we doing? All types of stuff, bro. And notice this, and I brought up this even in the Twitter space as well. Bro, nothing's ever consistent with 2K right now. That's why I said I would have made things just simple. There has been nothing consistent with the game. Nothing consistent. Everything's always inconsistent. 2K does something one season, next season that you can't do it all of a sudden. It's inconsistent. And that's why the game dies out as well, right? Because people are like, I'm not going to, like, they're already expecting failure from 2K. So they're like, bro, I'm not going to put myself through this headache, stress myself out over this game. This game is just not it. That's how they look at it, right? So I'm just letting y'all know that this could be one of the, in my opinion, the worst information that we could arguably get when it comes to gameplay wise in the 2K community, bro. I don't know how y'all are going to look at it, but I'm looking at it from a standpoint of we just dealt with that. You see what I'm saying? We just played that, right? And I told y'all yesterday in my video, I don't know about y'all, but I don't like something that I've already, have, right? I don't want to experience something that I've already done before. To me, it's just played out. And I feel like just because you say pro play is fast paced, that I don't think the gameplay gonna be anything really different. And that's just me keeping it 100% with y'all, bro. See if I can find any more comments about people's thoughts on pro play. Nobody wants to feel like they have a bucket on their player. Why every time when you move on this game, it feels like your player's shoes are both tied together? Like, I'm just telling y'all what people are saying the community-wise. They don't like it, right? Heard the same thing for 2K25. LOL, just for 2K needed more realism. I definitely won't be playing this game. I'm just telling you what the community is saying, bro. Somebody says there's no way LMAO. This has been the same game since NBA 2K23. If you ask me, it's gotten worse. It's really gotten just worse. Like, anytime when you know how, like, when that meme of, oh, like, couldn't get any better, like, any worse than that. 2K's, man, hold my beer, right? Hold the microtransactions, right? They just find things to just, oh, you thought we didn't think of it? Like, they're gonna make it worse, bro. Like, for example, oh, you thought a build this year, like, almost 200, it's 130 now. Like, bro, that's still not what a build should be worth. $100 plus for a build is insane work, bro. Insane. Where's the footage? We haven't gotten any footage yet, y'all. That's exactly what they said last year. Well, this game is officially cooked. So it seems like not only me, but some of y'all are not happy about this information. Like, I'm really looking for people. I'm really not seeing anybody excited for pro play. So-called fast pace. GG's. This game will be garbage. It won't be any different. Pro play is fantastic, but unfortunately, most 2K fans don't want to play basketball. That to me sounds like a player that I don't understand how people say something's fantastic. Like, and you see how he didn't say he said it's fantastic, but he didn't say why. He said it's fantastic, but people don't like basketball. Bro, you didn't give a real reason to why it's fantastic. You just said, oh, people don't know how to play basketball. It just sounds like to me, people that were getting cooked from previous 2Ks, right? They like 2K holding their hand. They like the fact that 2K got people on a leash, like on a fast break, for example. You're not able to, people can just catch up to you on a fast break, even a center. My center can catch a guard on a fast break, and he shouldn't be able to, right? It just sounds like to me some of that. Like, I found one comment that said pro play is fantastic, and he said because y'all don't like basketball. Like, bro, that's not, like, to me a real reason. Like, you just said it's fantastic because really you probably had a hard time guarding people. And some of y'all are the problem. When I mean about some of y'all are the problem, y'all are just bad players on the game, in my opinion, right? Even when it comes to just like random rec, you have low IQ. You don't know how to space the floor. You're scared to shoot the ball. But you over here saying pro play is fantastic, right? It's insane to me. Let me see if I can find any more comments, y'all. So nothing's changed. They said the same thing last year. All right, let me see if I can go to another post. Let me go to Double H's post, see what people were saying under his post. Maybe you'll see some other comments. I doubt it, though. It just seemed like to me nobody's excited for it, y'all. And that's just the reality of it. Let me see here if I can. Where's Double H? Okay, 53 comments over here. All right, so basically the gameplay is sped up. Well, that's what we want. I don't think we're getting sped up gameplay, Double H. Be honest with you, bro. Um, I don't think it's gonna happen. The game speed, first of all, the game speed should have never been like, for example, y'all talk about, bro, 2K24 wasn't that bad, which I disagree, right? I didn't like 2K24. I just said 2K23, but 2K, I didn't like, I'm talking about 2K24. I wasn't really a fan of 2K24. I explained to you I had the worst experience with 2K24. I just didn't like the, inconsistency of them touching the game almost every single season and ruining the gameplay experience, right? Not to mention you still had the terrible online experience. So I want to say this, we expected on 2K24, like, yo, the game, it should be better on 25. Like, we weren't thinking that we're going to make the game really even slower. And 2K said, hold the microtransactions, right? They made the game play in slow motion, really, right? So, if we really think that the gameplay is going to be spectacular, I don't know about that. Um, so somebody said, y'all fall for anything. Um, After 2K25, I will never believe or get excited over anything fancy wording they actually use to describe the game. I definitely agree. And I want you to understand this, bro. 2K25 is one of the worst games I have ever played. We're not even talking about basketball or sports games. I'm talking about a video game, like a regular video game. I feel like the average person, let's say somebody that's never played 2K, like if you just played a video game and you just, oh, like I heard about this 2K game and you wanted to play this a basketball game, I feel like that person would not even want to play it because that's how bad it was. Now y'all do me a favor, y'all talk me in the comment section. Y'all let me know how y'all feel about this information. Are y'all excited? Are y'all disappointed? How do y'all feel about this, bro? Other than that, it's your boy J Mid. Like I said, Glove Motion all 2025. You know the vibes. We're gonna keep, getting to this, content wise and stay consistent, stay focused, and try to get this bag for real. You know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to tell y'all, man. I don't think anything's gonna be different, y'all. Just ask yourself this after what you just dealt with on NBA 2K25. You're excited for 2K26. Let's just ask ourselves. I know you're not. I know you're not excited. You can't be excited. You can't be. Y'all be good, man. I'm gone.